sound of the police. Nom nom. It's hot, it's hot. Good afternoon, you absolute lovelies. Welcome back to another cheeky little Monkey London episode. We've got a very fine squire, Mr. Paul. Nom nom! Today we are in Paul's super sick Toyota JZX100 Mark 2, which is exactly what I've got. It's not a chase, it's very similar, same chassis, same engine, but the rest of the car is actually quite different. Yeah.
Cosmetically, like, not a panel changes over.
No, and even the windscreens are different as well.
Yeah.
So Paul, just run us through the spec on this car, because it was recently mapped at Fensport. You're running an ECU Master EMU Black, which is the same as me.
Yep.
And what sort of power did it make?
It's making between 450 and 500.
Okay, so decent power, man.
Yeah.
And I can hear when you put your foot down, you got a big spoolie boy.
Yep.
And B, you got a screamer pipe, because it does sound pretty savage, not gonna lie, man.
Yeah. It's a turbo smart external wastegate, straight to the ground, the way it should be. 3584R Mamba, £1,000 landed for the turbo, and for the power, I can't complain.
What exhaust size? Because the noise in here, it does sound, it's pretty noisy, isn't it? It sounds sick.
It's a 3-inch straight through with a resonator and then a HKS cannon on the back.
It sounds savage, dude. What about things like injectors?
Yeah, it's got Denso 540 Caldina injectors, Beachworks fuel pump, turbo smart reg.
Cooling side, obviously these originally came with a wing-mounted intercooler.
Yeah, it's got just a big 3-inch core high flow front mount in there that was recommended to me by a friend of mine, so he's proven that they work, so I was like, well, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, fair, it does the job. And then things like the radiator?
Stock.
You got stock rads?
Yeah, it keeps the temperature, no problem.
I think when you start going like drifting and you're sitting at very high RPM, then you maybe need to get like an upgraded aluminium rad, but
yeah, I was
for
looking
sort of
at
street driving, it's alright with the stock one.
I was looking at a Koyo rad, but obviously we'll see what Santa brings.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Hopefully you've been a good boy this year. What about things like the wheels, the brakes and the tyres?
Well, brakes, it's got Lexus 430 discs with Ferodo ceramic pads, and then it's working motion D9R wheels.
Nice set of wheels, man. And what specs?
They're 18 by 9.5 plus 30.
So how long have you actually had this car for, Paul? Quite a few years?
No, I've only had it since February last year.
Fair enough. And you originally bought this from Sean at DSI Imports?
Yeah. And he got it from another company who used it to do drift mat Surrey.
The B-suit's sick, man.
It had some nasty chromy wheels on it, skid wheels, some horrible old coilovers and an exhaust.
Okay, so it was quite sort of basic spec.
Yeah.
What do you think it sort of stands you? What did you pay for the car originally? Because the prices of these, Paul, they've gone pretty mad now. They're getting quite expensive, JZXs, aren't they?
Including all the fees and the paperwork and the registering it, it landed me at 10 grand to buy it.
Which isn't actually bad, and that was last year.
Yeah.
Now you can sort of argue they're actually worth, even in sort of stockish form, a bit more money.
Yeah.
What did you sort of spend to get it to this point now?
Basically another 10 grand, but other than mapping and a bit of help from my friends here and there, it's completely self-built.
Yeah, you've done it all yourself. Nice to hear, man. Does pick up, doesn't it? It's got a really nice sort of torque band on this. And you're actually thinking about in the future running maybe a little bit more boost and running methanol as well, methanol injection.
Yeah, I was looking into water methanol kit because it does start to get a little bit heat soaky when you've been on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to bring it back down again, so we can turn the boost back up again.
Because that is a bit of an inherent problem with these JZs. They do, after a while of sort of hard ragging, they do tend to get a little bit hot.
Yeah.
It just really sounds intoxicating, this car. Right, it's got so much grip as well, man. It really does. For the amount of power, it doesn't actually really spin up a lot, does it? It really puts the power down.
With the PCs in the back, when you order them, you can get different spring rates. So it's only got a 12k spring in the rear and then 20k up front.
Okay.
So it seems a bit heavy in front, but obviously big engine.
Yeah.
So the back's quite soft, so it does
allows it to squat a little bit and take off. Yeah, fair play, man. It does. I mean, it's quite surprising for the power levels. The thing really does grip. And then tyres on this are Uni Royal Rain Sport 5s.
Yes, yeah.
Which is actually what I've got on my Volvo. Not that this is a comparison.
I run them on my daily as well. I love
sick tyres, man. Yeah, especially in the rain.
Yeah.
Gearbox in this is stock R154.
Yeah, out of a JZX110.
Oh, so it's like a later box.
Yeah, later box, and then it's got competition clutch, comp clutch, 6-puck ceramic clutch.
Which is single plate?
Single plate, yeah. Cusco 2-way.
Nice, man.
In the back.
Yeah, decent LSD. Right, we've just stopped for 5 minutes so we can sort of show you guys what she looks like from the outside. It's not kind of a flat white, is it? It's almost like a sort of pearlescent white. If you guys look back here, it's quite a sort of good telltale sign for the Mark IIs. They've got quite different light arrangements to the chasers. And the arch as well. Have you rolled the arches at all?
No, the arches were rolled in Japan.
Wings are nice on this as well. You're saying they're D-Max and they're what, 20, 25 mil?
Yeah, 20, 25 mil, something like that. Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Worker motions do look beautiful. And what colour? It's almost like bronze?
Yeah, they're bronze and then they're neochrome Vertex wheel nuts as well.
Oh, Vertex wheel nuts, man. Fucking hell, you spent some money on this car, haven't you? If you guys look down here, you can kind of see the bigger brake calipers pulls running, obviously with a drill disc as well. And then did you have to run a spacer on there at all to clear the wheel?
Yeah, there's a 3 mil spacer between the wheel and the disc just to clear the calipers. And then I did think about putting extended studs in it. I'm bringing it out a little bit further, but I like the fitment as it is at the moment. Tyres
all round are Uni Royal Rain Sport 5s. And what size are the tyres, Paul?
Front's 225 4018 and then 245 4018 in the rear.
Okay. And grip, I mean, they're surprisingly grippy. I mean, predominantly these are like made for rain, but even in the dry, they do
grip really well. Yeah, the only thing they don't do is they don't last very long. For some reason, in this car, I do a set like every couple of months. I don't know why.
Driving. I must admit, it looks smart, man. It's a nicely sort of presented JZX. This, it really is.
I think it's a Vertex front lip, Vertex style skirts, Vertex style rear sort of valance, as they call it.
That's what they are.
And then the rest of it's just like trying to make it as clean as I can without. And I've had a few bits of paint done here and there just to make it like really clean and really stand out. I like the way it looks, so I'll just leave the kit as it is, and I've just had it like the kit refitted and I've had it all repainted and stuff because it was a bit scabby when I got it.
Just to sort of like tidy it up in a few places. A lot of these do sort of get turned into drift cars. I mean, you drive the car hard, but you also present it really nice, and that's the only thing. If you are going to a drift track every week, inevitably stuff does get damaged.
Yeah.
On the front, Paul, as well, these headlights, because they're actually different to my Mark II headlights. Am I right in saying these are the facelift ones?
They're facelift, and then someone's fitted halos in it before, and like they've been blacked out with like a sparkle paint as well.
The front of the car looks sick, man. Quite a big intercooler up front as well.
The biggest one I could fit in the hole, really.
Yeah, that sounds ominous. As you guys can see here, Paul's got a nice, pretty sizable top mount turbo, which is a Mamba. What boost are you running at the moment?
1.4 bar low boost, 1.8 high boost.
Okay. And then what about things like engine internals? All standard?
Completely bone stock, unopened.
Do you reckon you'll do like 4Gs and try and run like a bigger turbo and stuff? What's your plans?
I've thought about it, and for now I think I'm just going to do cams and head studs. With the methanol, I should be able to make 600 horsepower on it.
Yeah, crazy.
Eventually, I want to put a 2J bottom end in it.
So I could do like what I've done, a 1.5
1.5J.
K&N air filter.
Yep. Little Mishimoto catch can, turbo smart fuel reg, turbo smart wastegate, Denso injectors, 540 Caldina.
Was the Caldina the 4-wheel drive thing they made?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Which I believe was the car that Fensport originally used to convert their Corolla.
Yeah.
What about things like the ignition system? You've got different coil packs?
Yeah, it's running the Yaris hybrid coil kit, no igniter, that's gone, subloom, and then it's NGK plugs, different coils, and then there's an aluminium plate that bolts it in so you can keep the cover still on the top.
I got
you don't have to have it sticking out. And it used to break up really bad with the stock coils in there, and then with these, perfect.
Exhaust system, you were saying as well, is 3-inch turbo back.
Yeah, it's 3-inch straight off the back of the turbo, just straight sections and bends and stuff.
And you actually did all the work yourself, all the welding and stuff.
Yeah,
Fair
it's all
play
made.
to you. I must say, man, the sound from this thing is absolutely nuts. It's that real sort of I mean, it's obviously 1J sounds sick, but it really has a nice tone to it, this car. It's quite loud, isn't it? Monky London, original sticker on the back, so that's 10 horsepower confirmed. Fueling wise, I can see you've got a Turbo Smart fuel pressure regulator just to up the rail pressure a little bit.
Yeah, Turbo Smart rising rate reg, the Denso Caldina injectors, Turbo Smart rail adapter, Deutschworks 350 IL fuel pipe line from the tank. It's been changed, and then the pumps had a 12 volt conversion done. So it's not on all the time. The ECU does control it, but yeah, it stops it melting the wiring basically.
You've also still got air conditioning, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's still got air conditioning. ECU controls that, so it brings like the revs up and stuff, so it doesn't stall when you turn the AC on.
So it's kind of kept it all OEM, as it
Yeah.
were. Also noticed Paul's got a couple of cheeky micro monkeys, which I actually give away with orders over 20 quid. He's got one here, and he's got one there, and a sticker on the back, so that is actually an additional 20 horsepower.
That makes all the difference.
Which
It
is
really
exceptional
does.
value for money, I would
Yeah,
say.
it's cheapest power I've ever bought.
MonkyLondon.com, do a buy. All stock intake manifold.
Yeah, completely bone stock. It's just had the traction control plate ripped out the inlet because we don't need that.
They can be a bit restrictive, can't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, so that's been pulled out. And then yeah, other than that, it's just air temp sensor wired in just before the throttle.
Yeah.
So the ECU can see what's going on.
This is actually Paul's Instagram down here, so if you guys feel like doing him a cheeky little follow, feel free. What about the interior, Paul? So you've got a Vertex Racing steering wheel. What size is that? 340?
Yeah, so 340 Vertex wheel.
Quintessential nom key tag. Obviously a massive Spunky London fan.
Absolutely, have been for a long time.
Absolute get a foul. And then stock seats as well. They are super comfortable. Almost like I love the sort of feel of the seats. They feel really good, don't they?
They are actually quite nice, and even with like real heavy coilovers and stuff, where it's still got stock seats, you can drive it and it doesn't like break your spine when you're trying to drive it.
It's a nice sort of comfortable place to be.
Yeah.
What about things like the gear knob, and you've got a fly off handbrake button as well?
Yeah, it's NRG, nice sort of weighted alley one. All the skids mode.
Also got an NRG steering boss.
Yeah, it's NRG steering boss, so you can keep the cruise control if you wanted to with it, and yeah, it's all order-free drift works. Yeah, they're like really good, and they were really good with getting the wheels and stuff as well.
Definitely a decent company.
Yeah.
And what's it like underneath? Is the chassis nice and clean?
Spotless.
Really
It's
good.
absolutely spotless. Most of it's been under seal, but I'm hoping to get the subframes out over winter and like under seal above them, and then put all the subframes and everything back in. Maybe get a few bits powder coated as well.
It's nice to actually see a JZX that isn't completely battered, because a lot of them do. I mean, a lot of them are skidded in Japan, and they do end up looking like banger cars.
Well, this was drifted in Japan, but they obviously had some skills.
Yeah,
So
they're not like me.
all me.
Shut up, man, you're a decent driver. Suspension, Paul, you've got BC coilovers all round?
Yeah, BC custom coilovers, Cusco top arms, modified knuckles up the front, roll centre adjusters.
And you were saying as well, this actually in Japanese means 100?
Yes, it means 100. We actually had it confirmed. It's not like a sushi order or anything like that.
Paul and I have done a little swap over, so yeah, we'll let John have a little go and give you his impressions. First class flight to Mexico, here we come. Shift this car, man. It's amazing what a difference, and how sort of radically different they are from stock form. John's going to also do a cheeky little burnout for Toby, who is your lovely son.
Yep.
This is for you, Tobes.
Smiles per mile.
Yeah, I was going to say,
It's
man,
smiles
you
per
must get
miles.
literally no MPG out of this, because the problem is with it sounding so intoxicating, it's probably hard to not put your foot down off. But you don't use it as a daily this?
No. I daily just a diesel BMW, just so it saves more money for fuel for this.
Ah, makes sense, man, yeah. And then you burn it all up on the weekends.
Yeah, this like eats money, it eats tyres and fuel, and it's got more of a drinking habit than me.
I bet, man. We'll do a little pull from second gear, so you guys can kind of see the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. Got the constabulary doing a bit of a follow. Pretty much brings us to a close. We're losing a bit of light now. It's getting a bit later in the evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive thanks to Paul for bringing the car down. Really enjoyed it, man. And definitely one of the best sounding 1JZs we've had on the channel, man. It really does sound savage. It really does. Maybe when you start doing a few more mods to these sort of engine internals and you up the boost a little bit, maybe we can sort of come back for a round 2.
Yeah, fresh set of tyres and we'll be away.
Yeah, it'd be sick, man. If you like the video, give it a little like, put any comments down below. As always, we'll do our best to get back to you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.